Kicking off our segments about World Productivity today, about inspiring your team to be productive. We have Habib joining us, a business owner and an inspirational leader in the community. And I want to talk just, first of all, why is it so important as a business owner to have a productive team?
Well, we're in a competitive environment, and so absolutely, if you don't have a competitive team, your competition will have a competitive team, and they'll beat you in costs and everything else. You know, what's important is that most companies really focus on the tangibles. For example, make sure you give them the proper equipment, make sure the equipment works, make sure they have the proper resources, but a lot of other things are also still left out.
And so what are some of those things that are left out that you've found to be really important?
Well, they're really simple. They're not complicated. For example, first, be genuine, be a human being. At home and with our communities, with our friends, we tend to act one way, and sometimes at work we tend to act a different way. If you're human and genuine, your people will respect you more and respect everyone. I think every member of the team, one of the basic needs that they have is respect. And so, two little easy things to do: be genuine, respect everybody.
Well, what do you mean by that word respect?
Well, respect means there's a lot of things that come into respect, but respect means you would treat them like you want to be treated. I have a son and daughter, and I always said I want to treat my employees like I want to treat my daughter. If she goes away 1,000 miles away and she works for somebody, I want that somebody to treat her nicely. So how would I treat my employee that way? They're human beings just like me.
You also say you need to lead by example. What sort of examples?
Well, people are looking at you every single day. Everybody's watching. We know at home our kids are watching. At work, our employees are watching. You should have integrity. You should have respect. You should care for the client in front of the client and behind their back. You should care for your employees in front of them and behind their back. You should lead, not boss. There's a big difference between bossing people and leading. And see, this is one of the most difficult things for a company to do. If you want all your employees to be treated well, you ought to train your leaders and your supervisors. And that's one thing that I love doing. Focusing on the leaders so that they can treat the employees like I would treat the employees.
You talk about training. Do you think that's an essential part of leadership that a lot of companies are kind of missing the boat on?
So, companies are doing a better job, but when budgets are tough, that's the first thing that gets cut is training. When really, that's when you need training the most, because you need your people to step up and all of them act in a very productive way. I tell a good story that I didn't invent, but a good story about how everybody is important. The story about a ship captain got in an argument with the chief engineer about who is more important than the other person. And so they decided to swap places for a day. And so the ship captain is downstairs in the engine room, and he runs upstairs to the deck and tells the engineer, he's all covered with soot and everything. He goes, I can't get the engine to run. And the chief engineer says, don't worry, we ran aground. So he couldn't even steer the ship. Everybody is important. I think people are knowledgeable of that. They know that. They want to be treated as a person. I think that's a basic necessity in humans.
You also say that you want to make a core value and beliefs of your organization having an environment where people do things without being asked. How do you get there?
Well, I have to model it, and I also have to push it. So that is one of our BPC's core organizational value. I say we got to get up and help one another. I really think that 10 people can do the job of 13 people, 12 or 13 people easily. For example, you've got people in a certain pod, in a department. You may not need 3 people, but I would probably put 3 people because I want to give great service all the time. Well, sometimes they're going to have a slow day. What do? If they can get up and help a different team, that gives the other team more productivity. And when they need help, the other team comes and helps them. When I value that, when I model it, and when I reward that, it adds that. And you have to really put it as an organizational value, just like everything else.
How do you communicate to your employees? You told the story about the 2 on the ship. How do you make your employees realize that everything they do matters? And that everyone matters.
And that's important, especially today. Like, for example, we have a group that does Cobra for clients, and Cobra is something you get a notice that you can continue your your insurance. The people who are calling us are people who lost their jobs or got reduction in hours. So what we tell our employees is when an employee calls you, a participant calls you, you're helping them navigate keeping health insurance in a difficult time of their life. That makes them feel like they are helping people. Mm-hmm. Our helping people gives us importance and gives us meaning in life. And so you have to explain relate how their job that they're doing helps people.
What can you do as a boss to help your employees have good productivity in the workplace?
Other than that I tell them that what they do matters, I got to give them my time. I listen to them. The gift of time, the gift of listening, the gift of encouragement. And, a lot of times we should have fun. We got elected as best places to work at BPC. This Wednesday, we're having the Kona ice truck come. I mean, it doesn't really cost much, but in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, we're going to go downstairs, get served in the parking lot by the Kona ice shave truck. We're going to act like little kids. And everybody wants to feel that they are valued and that we love gifts. So I brought you a gift today.
Oh.
All right. So one of my signatures is that I make killer baklava.
That's awesome.
And last night I made you that. It's not even 12 hours old, so it's handmade by me, and I'm giving it to you. I think you feel special today, and I hope you share it with your team.
I will, and I think you just made me the most popular person in the newsroom.
It has nuts, so if anybody has walnut allergies, I'm giving you some chocolate, so you can give them chocolate instead of baklava.
You've just thought of everything, haven't you? All right, Habib, thanks so much for joining us on Current.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coming up, they say there's an app for everything, even to help you stay more productive. Plus, it's a drug that's known to improve your focus. How students are depending on it. You're watching Current.
Know more, live better. From WCIA 3 News, Cynthia Bruno, Erica Quetnow. This is Current.